G'day and welcome to Down the Shed with Byron. This is not going to be another project. Maybe. But it's got that badge on it. Yeah boy, V8 5 litre injected VP Commodore Wagon. Now you might be saying, Byzaaa, why? Why the hell have you got yourself one of them? Well, you may have seen one of my videos, we got a VR Calais off our mate DJ with the LS1 in it. And the plans were for that engine to go into my VR Calais. Now, come across this, picking up some other parts, and I thought, it doesn't hurt to have another driveline. Now we have options. So the VR could either be LS swapped, 5 litre swapped, or leave it as a V6. But I think I'll come to that decision later once we get both these VT and the VP running. Now I took this VP around to my mate PJ's and he just got carried away and we tried to get it to turn over. Now with a couple of cans of confidence, oh jeepers, we found that the water pump is seized. So it was making it hard to actually turn the engine over by hand. It was just slipping on the belts. But we have got it to turn over. What I'd like to do is just pull the spark plugs out, spray a bit of lube down them. We've already run a starter wire just to try and see if we can get the starter to go. But what was happening is it was just engaging, but wasn't enough to turn it. Let's go for a quick walk around of it and I'll explain to you one of the reasons why I did buy it. So, obviously, it doesn't look appealing, but the story was, it was left in a storage yard for many, many years, and they had to move it around with their forklift or loader, so you can picture the damage that happened to it. Then the bloke I brought it off of, he's an absolute top dude. How you going, bros, if you're watching the video? And he had it stored at his place for a while, and it's really wet, sloppy conditions there he is. So you can just understand why the surface rust has just kicked right in and the mold has started growing on it. So what I liked about it is the first thing I sort of looked at. Now, 5 litre, what are you going to do with it? It's actually hasn't really been touched. Yes, it has got a set of extractors and maybe an exhaust system and a set of alloys it had on it, but straight away, besides the panel damage, I couldn't really see any tyre slapping marks up on the inside. So like, hasn't been, no rubber up in there. So it hasn't been sent on a burnout trip or thrashed the guts out of, I'd presume. Yes, it has got a tow bar, but is this one of those cars that someone may have brought, put a tow bar on it, tow package, etc., and just driven it as a family car? Now, besides the weather absolutely killing the seats, they are in almost top condition. Now, if we're speaking to our mate DJ, he'd probably say they're mint. But otherwise, we've got a pretty complete car here. Now, from what I can actually see at the moment, this is what I'm presuming. Water pump's seized, it's overheated, parked up, rego's run out, old mate's moved out, etc. Car's just been left or taken to the salvage yard to go, you know what, it's in that era where they weren't worth anything and it just got left in the corner and that's what happened to it. So let's get it off the trailer, get it in the shed and have a gander and see what we can find out. This car would have been absolutely awesome back in the day, I reckon. 5 litre wagon, cruiser, you know what I mean? Go down family trips, throw the caravan on the back. All right, well, let's pull those spark plugs out and see what we can find. Alrighty then, we've got spark plugs out. I end up removing the fan. I've sprayed some WD-40 down each cylinder. Now, I'm no spark plug guru, but they're all looking relatively the same and okay. Now what we'll try and do is we'll turn that engine over and now we have turned it over, but without spark plugs in it. Let's see what we get this time. Righto, let's put that on there. Oh yeah. Obviously it's turning over a lot easier. No compression with spark plugs out. We'll turn it over a couple of times and I'll go get a battery and then we'll see if it will turn with the starter motor next. Because like I was saying before, it just engaged but it wouldn't spin. So that's our next problem. Righto, we'll just try this battery, which doesn't quite. We'll make it fit. Come on, baby. Do that. Terminals are in a bit of a different spot. It's all right. Hopefully they reach. There we go, they reach. Now we've got an earth, power. See if it turns over. No. Can't even hit the starter motor. Stupid me. We should have probably cleaned these terminals out first, eh? They definitely a fair bit of corrosion in there. We'll give them a good scrub and try again. Starter motor's not even trying. Just disconnected my jumper wire just to try off the key. Still nothing. I hear relays clicking. Now what I've done, I've just jacked up the side of the car and we're just checking for power. So we've got power at the starter motor. I've got that other wire on there just as a jumper, just to see if we can make something happen again. And a good battery, and I've got the clamps done up tight. Nothing's happening there. So I reckon we need to pull that starter motor out and have a bit more of a gander at it. Let's just try one more thing. The good old giving the solenoid a smash with something like a hammer. Righto, one more go. Nothing. Righto. Let's pull that starter motor off and go from there. This is note to self, Tetris music about now, and ginger it out. There we go, starter motor out. Oh boy. Oh man, without removing that power steering rack and just dropping it down to get it out, that was a bit of a mission. Righto, that looks very, very similar to a V6 Commodore one, I reckon. I have a spare somewhere. We'll go have a look, see if we can find it. Wow, you are not going to believe this. They look so similar. I wouldn't be surprised if they're the same starter motor. That's the one out of the VP. That one's out of a VY or a VX Commodore, the one we did for Grandpa. Wow, let's have a look. Bosch part number here. Bosch. So what I'll do now is I'll just double check those part numbers and we'll count the teeth. So there's teeth on that throw out. We'll see if they match. If they match, actually, I'll bench test it first and we'll go from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So we have got a different part number. I counted 9 teeth on that one and 10 on that one. I'll just double check. 9. Double check again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Righto, so my counting's out a little bit. So we have got 9 on that one. Part number difference is a little bit, but everything else looks the same. I think it does say a voltage on it. Obviously 12 volts. Doesn't say much else. 12 volts. But yeah, let's throw it in and see what happens. No, bench test first. Bench test. Try the V8 starter motor first. same as what we had before. Oh. So that's where it was throwing out. Now, let's try that V6 one, see what happens this time. Ooh, stay there, try again. Oh, that sounded better. Almost better. So going back to the drawing board, I just got some battery cables that I had for my Derby car, bolted them to the starter motor. So this is the V6 one. So we'll just make sure that spins. Okay, the V6 one kicks in. We'll try that V8 one again and go from there. The V8 one this time, all connected up. I did find the bolt holes were different sizes. I couldn't put that one in, but could be because they're not cleaned out or something. But all right, V8 testing. There we go, she engages. Oh, now we've got it to turn over. Very slow, but could be just those brushes in the inside of the starter motor. So if we actually pulled this apart, probably find we could get it to free up. Anyway, I'm going to give that a go. We'll put the V6 one in and see what happens. They're so close, yet different. So if you can see the difference in the holes there, it's not by much, but I was struggling and struggling and struggling. I'm going, what? They look the same. And on further investigation, if you put a straight edge there, you see those holes are back, those ones are in. Now this one is the V6, that's the V8. All right, well, what's our next solution besides going and buying one? Should we try and swap it over or pull it apart and see what happens? It's a little bit of a mission. I've got it swapped over, ready to test again. I could not get these screws to budge. Now I've drilled them out. Look at that. Oh, they just unscrew. So to get the solenoid off the other, off the housing, I just drilled the heads of the screws off. Now I've got this all tightened up. We'll bench test it again. Alrighty then. Earth, posi, that's connected. Make it so you guys can see it without making myself electrocuted. Righto, let's test that again. Watching down here. Oi! Also, with a little bit of grease, makes it spin a bit quicker, doesn't it? Nice, nice. All right, let's try that again. What an afternoon this has been. We'll just connect the battery up. I've got that bypassed exciter wire on. Let's hope for the best. Yeah, boy. All right, disconnect that. Let's try it on the key. Now I've got the fuse out for the fuel pump because we don't want the fuel to actually pump in there. I have checked the engine oil and that was spot on and actually looks good. But again, the condensation and where it was stored, I'll drop that engine oil anyway. Now we've got it all connected up through the system of the car. We've got lights again. Oh yeah, boy. So she turns over with the key. The next thing. Now I've got it back on the ground, I'm just going to double check and see if we've got spark. Well, I've got no spark plugs in it and the fuel pump relay out. So just watch here, see if we've got a spark. Yeah, boy. So we've got spark. We've also got a transmission leak. I'll loop that hose in a minute. So that's a good sign. We've got spark. What else do you need to make it run? Bit of go-go juice. Alrighty then. So those terminals look rather corroded, but I'm not going to connect the fuel system. We will pull that brake booster hose off, spray a bit of bloody, how you going down there? and see if it bangs and pops and farts once we put the spark plugs back in. The big fella here, he's come to give us a hand. I've got that line off, spark plugs back in, leads all on. Let's just see if it fires. Spray a bit of brake clean down here. Right, big fella, just turn it over. Righto. Turn it off, mate. Sweet. We know it runs. Dirty thumbs up. Woohoo, boy. Oh, that's mint. But it sounds a bit ticky. I reckon we need to change the oil. Well, that's not bad, is it? A bit of an afternoon of stuffing around on the old girl, just for a starter motor and a bit of go-go juice. Oh, I'll try and sort out a fuel system for it a bit later because I don't trust that fuel tank. I guarantee it'll be full of rust and who knows what. But at least now we've got an option. We've got that VT Calais with the LS1 in it. We've got the VP wagon with a 5 litre. So we could use one or the other for the VR, or if it's in the background, we could also possibly use this 5 litre for that as well. But I think we've got different plans for that. They're both in the same state, the LS1 and the 5 litre. So, hey, let's just get them running and driving for now, and then we can work out what we want to run with. Anyhow, dirty thumbs up. I hope you've enjoyed hanging out down the shed with me this afternoon. I've actually had a bit of fun. Now it's time to get into that old Brougham with the big fella. Now he's home from school. Righto, guys, take it easy, and I'll see you when I'm looking at you.